in pixel mazes. Fingers dance, electric craze. You win, you lose, the screen displays. Retro Legends Arcade, where heroes are made. Insert your coin, don't be afraid. Retro Legends Arcade. Pinball clatters, jackpot rings, 8-bit worlds where power springs. Twists hum, the chaos sings, forever young on timeless wings. Press start to play. The night won't decay. Retro Legends Arcade, where heroes are made. Insert your coin, don't be afraid. Retro Legends Arcade. Retro Legends Arcade. Retro Legends Arcade.
All right. Hello, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Retro Legends Arcade Gamers. We got some people. Let me just say hello in the chat. We got Wingo, good to see you. Sacro, Bliss2121. Sacro says, yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Bliss2121. We got a good show planned. Let's take a look at the Retro Legends Arcade's leaderboards. Let's do that first. So let me go to that. Boom, there we are. And let me go here. And so we had a great week of retro gaming. We had Whodunit, Star Wars, Masters of the Force, Soccer Kings Deluxe. We had Shooting the Rapids remake, Firefighter, the pinball game, all in the Retro Legends Arcade. I do have a contest for Space Invaders, so it's not too late to get in your Space Invader scores. I will be drawing for a prize in Space Invaders. If you want to add a score while the show's going on, that is fine. So I will be giving out a prize. I'll show that in a minute. And it's a random poll. As long as you played the game, you'll be entered in the contest. So if you're watching live, you can play Space Invaders and be included in the contest. It's going to be a random drawing of whoever played. So we had, let's just talk about the scores. We had the Firefighters. We had Bruno, 15477, Bliss2121, Wingo, Dave LB, me, and Sacro with a fantastic score. Then we had Shooting the Rapids remake, Bliss2121, Bruno, Wingo, Dave LB, me, and Sacro. We had Soccer Kings Deluxe, Bruno, Bliss2121, Wingo, Dave LB, me, and Sacro. We have 4 people with scores on Space Invaders, Dave LB, Lord Donkey Balls, me, and Sacro. We have Star Wars Masters of the Force. Sacro's got a clean sweep this week. Wow. Bliss2121 and Sacro for the win in the Star Wars VR pinball. By the way, we're down to only 2 games left. We got 2 left, and we played them all. Then we played Whodunit. You could have played on any platform. AtGames Pinball, Pinball Effects VR, Pinball Effects. We had Biggie D. Good to see Biggie D here, dropping a score. Wingo, Jay, Bruno, Dave LB, me. Bliss2121 taking out Papa Brad with that crazy, is that 5,784,000,000? Great job. These scores were sick on Whodunit. We got Sacro with an 8 million point score. We got new games coming in. We got all 3 of the Flipper Friends games, Sinistar Deluxe, Pool Champions, Remake, and Voyager through time and space. We're going to be playing Star Wars Pinball in VR. We're playing Rogue One. We got the classic arcade game, Super Pac-Man. Dave LB already dropping a bunch of scores. Good job, Dave LB. We have Earthshaker. Wango's taking the lead, Dave LB, and Jay. So these are our new games for the week coming up. Let me check in with the chat because I can't see the chat while I'm looking at the scoreboard. Welcome to the show, everyone. Hey, we got the champion right here, MadBenHan, the legend. By the way, the #1 AtGames pinball player in the world, officially ranked by the IFPA. We'll be talking some AtGames news and some IFPA rankings and where everyone's at. We got Obsidian Contraption here. Good to see you, buddy. We got Mikey Yoon. Good to see you. Yeah, we got Obsidian Contraption back from the iArcade days. Yes, all about dropping scores even back then. We got MadBenHan saying he keeps forgetting to drop his Flipper Friends scores on here. Need to remember you're always welcome to drop scores on here. MadBenHan is truly that is the man to beat for all of AtGames and just pinball in general. Absolute champion, wizard, master of pinball. By the way, MadBenHan has a channel, and he does put up videos with him playing pinball. And I'm going to be honest, I do watch him, and I've learned a lot from watching his gameplay. So a huge thank you to MadBenHan for sharing his knowledge. I've been doing pinball streams where I share me playing Flipper Friends to the best of my abilities, and hopefully that helps some people. I am a top 10 ranked IFPA player, so that's pretty exciting, and I enjoy chasing that every week. It's going to be tough to keep it to the end, but I'm going to do my best. IFP rankings with the champion, MadBenHan at #1, Tomato Grass Skull Joe. We got Sacro, me. Got a lot of people from the Retro Legends Arcade, people that come on the show. Thank you so much. Man, we have so much to talk to, and there's actually a lot more stuff we're going to add on to what we're going to talk about tonight. But, of course, this show's all about the games. The games we're going to talk about are Earthshaker, Star Wars Pinball Rogue One, the Season 2, Week 11 Flipper Friends games. I literally don't know anything about these games. These are all new to me. I haven't really played them much. And Super Pac-Man. So we got a fun show. But wait, the most important thing we're going to talk about, actually the most exciting thing, I can remove this now that we've talked about the games. The most exciting thing we're going to talk about too tonight is Neo Geo. Neo Geo has a new console coming out. Oh, wonderful. MadBenHan got the MetaQuest today. So he'll be playing Pinball Effects VR soon. Well, I look forward to seeing you on the leaderboards. I know you're going to tear it up. I actually find the Pinball Effects VR a little easier than AtGames Pinball. So as good as you are at AtGames Pinball, you're just going to absolutely be a terror on VR. So I can't wait to see your scores. Yeah, make sure you friend me so I can see your scores on my friends list. But yes, we're going to talk about some Earthshaker. So keep me on track. I always make some short notes. We got a big show lined up. We got Retro Legends Arcades, all about the games. We talk about the games first, and I shout out the players that played. This is actually the 61st show. I'm highlighting the wrong one. Hold on a second. 61. There it is. Okay. Get on the right show. This is the 61st show. Our pinball in VR is Star Wars VR Pinball Rogue One, and it plays incredible with the X Arcade and with the haptics kit. Super fun game. I was surprised how much I liked it. We're talking about the Neo Geo AES with a guest video from Potion Sword Run. You gave permission to show it. We're going to talk about Super Pac-Man with a flashback to 1982. Then we're talking about some Season 2 AtGames news, some Flipper Friends results, and then, of course, Earthshaker and anything else that's happening with AtGames. So let me check in with the chat. Let me put this up on the screen real quick so I can see a little easier. There we go. Chat's now up. Good to see Mikey Yoon is back. A lot of exciting things going on with gaming, including next week there is a pinball tournament that will be on the Tomato Grass channel, which I signed up for. So that's going to be exciting, playing World Cup soccer. We're going to start with a poll. I'm going to put this poll up, and you can think about it. This is something new to StreamYards I've never used before, but you type either 1, 2, or 3. It's a poll. And better value, a Wonderland pinball machine or the Neo Geo AES Plus bundle, which comes with all 10 Neo Geo cartridges, the console, a controller, a wireless gamepad, a memory card. So 3 choices. 1, Wonderland Pinball is the best value for $1,000. A Neo Geo AES with the 10-game all-in-one bundle. By the way, the games are $90 each. You get 10 games, so that's $900. That's $900 right there in games. And then 3, which of course is probably where I'm at. 3, gaming is just too expensive anymore. That's probably where I'm at, unfortunately, with the economy, the way things are going. But I just want to get the feedback. So type either 1, 2, or 3. And I've never used this, so if some people could type in the chat just so I can see how this works, I would love that. Yes, Obsidian Contraption saying hello to everyone. Sacro saying MadBenHan's going to love FXVR. I love it. It's great. I mean, especially with the X Arcade with the haptics kit, it's really fun. And everything's in 3D, which is the one thing you don't get from playing on a cabinet. I still love playing on a cabinet. I think they're both great, but they're different. The VR is a very good experience, though. I think it's very strong. So type 1, 2, or 3. What's a better value? A Wonderland Pinball? I got a couple of slides to show real quick. This is actually on sale on eBay. I saw $934.99. We're just going to say $1,000 by the time you pay your shipping. So what's a better value? One of these Wonderland Pinballs? Or we're going to talk about this. I got this from the Steps Gaming Show. It was on right before me. She has some affiliate links. If you are going to buy one of these, you can hook her up if you want to. I probably would if I get one. This is the Neo Geo AES, which is a remake of the Neo Geo console, which actually plays real arcade cartridges. Okay. So that being said, we're going to jump off. Make your vote now. What's better, the Wonderland Pinball or the all-in bundle on the Neo Geo AES? And so, without further ado, I just found out about this today. So let's watch we're going to watch first just a quick trailer on the Neo Geo, and then we're going to watch some content from one of my favorite content creators. So let's check this out. Okay, so there was a quick look at the trailer for the console. Mikey Yoon says, luckily, if you pre-order, you won't be charged until November. Sacro says 1. Let me put the poll back up so I know which one that was. Oh, no, I don't believe I just did that. I'm so bad at YouTube. Anyway, let's see. How do I fix this? I can't because I closed it. Okay, well, let me do this. Let's see. 1, because 2 can otherwise be emulated and it's not replacing physical pinball. Okay. Yes, absolutely. MadBenHan, friend us in pinball. We want to see your scores. We won't have to look up every time that we get on the pinball machine, but I definitely love looking at the leaderboards. And it doesn't matter if I'm first or in the middle, or I'm not even on the leaderboards. I want to see who the best players are. And I think I like that. I think it's a great tribute to the good players that they get their name on the back glass. And I like that. I mean, I don't think you should be able to just put just your friends only on the back glass. I think it should be where the top 10 should be on the back glass, or maybe the top 20. And you should earn that. You earn your way onto that. It's a lot of work. Anyone that plays pinball in the AtGames world knows how hard it is to get on that back glass. So, I mean, I'm glad that they have it where you get to see your name on the back glass. I think that's a great feature. I don't think they should ever get rid of that. Or you can just have your local scores. I think that's the way it should go. That's just my opinion. By the way, you can still play Space Invaders, and you can win a Space Invader. Let me show you the different ones I got. Now, these were a limited edition from Loot Crate. So these are a collectible. And if you play in our Space Invaders tournament, you don't have to win. You just have to put a score in. I'm going to do a wheel at the end of the show for a winner. And I got 3 different ones you can pick from. I'm going to keep 2 for myself because I do love these things. But look, here's the custom orange Space Invaders. So you can win a Space Invader for playing Space Invaders. There's the blue-green. By the way, got a new camera. And this is the purple-blue. All you got to do is drop a score right now in Space Invaders. I will check before we roll our wheel. And if you win, you can win a Space Invader. So just a little fun contest I did. And I'm going to break up my set of custom invaders. But this is a super cool thing that you're not going to find. And it's just going to have a cool trophy for playing in the Retro Legends arcade. And I think it'll be fun. So good luck. Oh, what did I do? So, okay, now let's get to the next part. Let's see. So I do have a guest video I want to show. Let me add this to stage. This is a great channel I like. It's called Potion Sword Run. And he did a great video today on the Neo Geo. And we're going to talk about that. Let me put up the chat, too, so I can see the chat live. Yeah, I love to give away stuff. I mean, it's all about what you give to the community. We got a $1.99 super chat from Steps Turbo. Who is Captain Crazy? Well, some people would say it's me, but I can't take that credit. Captain Crazy's is a pinball destination. It's a really great pinball arcade that's here in the Deep South. And they have a ton of pinball machines. They do tournaments. They have a huge arcade. I have a tour on my channel. And they gave me this video. They gave me this hat. I made my video, and they gave me this hat. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to wear it a few times on the stream. It's like Captain Crazy's Paradise. It actually is a Suicidal Tendency style, which I thought was really cool. I was definitely getting the vibe. But that's a pinball arcade, Steps. And thank you so much for the super chat. Let me play a super chat video.
Yeah, have a good one, man.
Okay, so let's see what we got next. Okay, so let's play some Potion Sword Run. Let me on the stage.
Welcome to Potion Sword Run.
Good to see you today, my Neo Geo gamers. Now, full disclosure, I did not buy it. I was so tempted because, I like Neo Geo Games, SNK, even though they're owned by Saudi Arabia now. But I digress.
So I didn't know that SNK is owned by Saudi Arabia. I did not know that. By the way, if you've not checked out the Steps Turbo show, they covered the Neo Geo. Great show. She also has some cool affiliate links if you are going to get one. I always say support someone. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. I think if I was to get it, I might want to get that all-in bundle. But I mean, that's a lot of money. $1,000 is a lot of money. Absolutely, this guy is fantastic, and I actually asked for permission to show the video. I think it gives us some great talking points. He always has good content on retro gaming. Check out Potion Sword Run. Link to his channels in the description of my video. So let's check this out. But Neo Geo.
I didn't get the console when I was growing up. I could not afford it back in the day. I was a little kid. And so people have, a Neo Geo, an actual Neo Geo, not a plug and play with actual cartridges, sounded awesome.
Yeah, I grew up at a different time. I mean, no one I knew had this console. This console was crazy expensive when it came out. MadBenHan says you got that Neo Geo AES pre-order in today. Always wanted it when I was a kid. And that is a cool thing. One of the things I really like about the Neo Geo, and including the new one they're making, it's actually going to play the real arcade carts. So this is not emulation. This is actually reproduction. So it will have HDMI out, but it's pretty much going to give you that real original experience. So, but Neo Geo I missed out on, and even if it was way above my my price level, I could not afford that. So let's keep watching.
So I looked at the actual Neo Geo cartridges and how much they cost. Like the original ones, look at
that. Rage of Dragons is $500. Wow. Double Dragon, $900 for one cartridge, $949. That $90 is looking pretty good now. Although I think I figured on Steps stream was how many card games are there? 161 games times 90. That's like $14,000 in cartridges if they released every Neo Geo game. I'm assuming they're probably not going to do that, But yeah, it looks like people definitely collect this to resell, and some of these carts have insanely high prices, Mikey. Like the Double Dragon here, $949. I've heard some of even going into the thousands. So let's watch.
Start like at $200 and they go like to $2,000. It depends on the title that you want, complete and boxed or even loose. My God, so expensive. So then when I started to look at this and I'm like, if they release games, maybe. And then sure enough, they're going to release games.
See, there's the one that's got me drooling because this is the all-in. This is every single thing they make up till the time that it's released. So this will be every single game. You got all 10 games. That's $900 in games. And it's $1,000. You got a console. You got a wireless controller. You got a memory card. You got the wireless, not arcade stick, the arcade stick, and then the wireless controller. And you got all 10 games. I mean, like, this is like the all-in bundle. Yes, $999.99, Mikey Yoon. $1,000 for this. Yes. Now, the console just by itself, MadBenHan's right. The console just by itself, when it was released in the 90s, was $600. But in the 90s, the console would have been $1,500 in today's money. Steps Turbo with a comment. $1,000, real arcade hardware with 10 games. Not bad compared to other stuff. About the $250 deal with the big tournament golf. Is that Neo Turf Masters? Is that the name of that game? The name most people know it by, Steps. Let's continue watching, but I feel like this like, it's just like when I put the poll up, I mean, like, this is so much money. Gaming has gotten so expensive. I mean, $1,000. But I mean, this is really, really a beautiful looking set. I don't know. What do you think in the chat, guys? I mean, Mikey's going to tell me I'm crazy. Mikey's going to say I'm crazy. I knew you were going to say I'm crazy, Mikey. But I mean, this will be the way to start with every cartridge. Like if you were to collect this would be the starting point where you had everything from the get. Well, actually, you wouldn't, but you would have all the games in the machine. You wouldn't have the white metal slug cart or the white stuff, but let's see. Steps Gaming says, yes, it is. Neo Turf Masters can't be used because the Masters is trademarked by the PGA. Okay. But the game had different names in different regions. Okay, so I know that is a highly, if I was to get this, the Metal Slug, the Polestar, and I think this is a good list of games. They got a lot of good games in there. The Ultimate Bundle does come with the 10 games. And like, if you think about it, that's like $100 for everything that they make. If you just bought the games, you would have spent $900. So that's $100 for the console, the wireless controller, the memory card. They give you all the goodies. They give you a special case to put all the stuff in. I don't know. Absolutely. This reminds me of Evercade, but this is arcade hardware. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's something really tempting about it. But that's a lot of money, you know? So let's continue watching. Let's listen to Potion Sword.
The Neo Geo 2? Also, I mean, I'm not sure what games they're going to be releasing because they only have a list so far, but they look like they're $90, which seems to be high for video games, especially these. But then when you think about it, you're buying a retro console with these retro cassettes or cartridges, so it makes sense, very tempting. And then you have all these different prices. You can just the standalone Neo Geos, you can get the anniversary edition, or if you want, you get the ultimate that has all these games already. For $1,000 though. But when you look at that and you compare it to trying to jump into the original Neo Geo,
let me go back to the list a little
for
bit. Let me see here.
edition,
1 second.
or if you want, you get the ultimate.
Pause it right there and see if I can see it. So this looks like this is a bunch of the things. Let's see. The standard Neo Geo is $249.99. The arcade stick's $119.99. I listen to home arcade podcasts when I'm driving, and this was all over the place on YouTube. Literally, but I heard this one reviewer that said the funniest thing about the white. He kept calling it the coquina, the cocaine edition. I just thought that was hilarious that he said that. But he said cocaina or something like that. And the white one, I mean, it is cool that it's different, right? I mean, they have this white one. I mean, it's probably the sweet spot for price because you get one of the greatest games, Metal Slug. Everyone loves Metal Slug. I mean, that's an absolute classic. You get the white console and you get the controller, which is wireless. Yeah, he was calling it the cocaine edition. I was like, I didn't get that reference, but I thought it was hilarious. When you think about it, it is kind of like that. It's like, it's something that pulls you in, it's like really like flashy, right? All white, super white. I mean, this is a white on white. Everything's white. I mean, it's just very attractive marketing. Even in the video, I mean, I was drooling when I watched when the video plays, it's beautiful. But so here's your different price levels, and let me check something on here real quick. 1 second, I gotta look something up. And the title of what we're talking about in this topic, by the way, Potion Sword Run, great channel. Subscribe to him when you get a chance. Watch some of his content. He's got some pretty amusing stuff on his channel. But the title of this video is Potion Sword Run. It's Neo Geo AES Plus is great for some, but not for others. And I think this is what I wanted to talk about. I do think this is going to be great for some. This is also designed by the same people that did the Atari Plus consoles, Play On. They did the Atari 7800 Plus. And so this is a company that, I mean, I love my Atari 7800 Plus. I love those consoles that play those original Atari cards. And I feel like they did a really good job with that. So This is probably even a little, it's definitely more deluxe. It's more high end. So I think this is like kind of a logical next step. But let's continue watching and let's learn a little bit more.
Ultimate that has all these games already. For $1,000 though. But when you look at that and you compare it to trying to jump into the original Neo Geo, I mean, it'll cost you like 5 times that much. Not including like the games, you know. To get the console, to get a good working console is going to cost you a good chunk. But not anymore. $200 and you're right in. And supposedly that I can play, you know, all older games and new games, and you know, it's not an emulator. It actually has like a brand new chip or something that it's a replica of the old chips, supposedly. You know, we don't have actual gameplay or them actually using the unit besides, you know, their marketing. Nothing in the wild yet to see if it actually works, see if it actually, you know, is what they say it is. But I think from someone who didn't have it, this is a good way to jump into the Neo Geo if you want a standalone console with cartridges. Because
what do you think in the chat? What do you think? I did run the math. At 90, there's 161 Neo Geo games. So at $90 a cartridge, I mean, this is staggering when you think of it this way. If they were to release all 161 Neo Geo games, that's $14,490 in games. That's pretty, that's at $90 a cartridge. That's not even at the astronomical prices that a real Neo Geo collection would be worth. But that's using the $90 model. They do make multi-carts where you can get all 161 games on one cart, which would be probably the way I would go, most likely. Because me, I just want to play the games. I don't need to own everything, but I do want it to play perfect. Like playing perfect is important, and but the multi-cart might be the way I would go. So, but yeah, that would be $14,490 for 161 games if you got every game that was released. They'll release them all. This is to get people invested. That's true. Is it you know, this is the carrot on a stick to get you in, you know. And I hate to say it, but for me, Evercade started with a good model where everything was really dirt cheap, and that's what I liked about the console. The cartridges weren't expensive, the hardware was inexpensive, but this is a whole much higher level price, right? A much more premium product, which is nothing wrong with that, but it's a much more premium product. I have no nostalgia for it either because I never had this, but I have nostalgia for the arcade games because I love a lot of these arcade games and I have played them in the arcade. That being said, I could play most of these games on my multicades behind me easily, and they seem to play pretty good. Maybe not perfect, maybe not as accurate as they would on this console, but they play pretty good, where I'm pretty happy with them. But let's continue watching some Potion Sword. Let's see what else he has to say.
Otherwise, you can get these games pretty much in any other system, I believe, most of them at least. So there's cheaper ways of playing these games, but there's not a cheaper way of getting a Neo Geo with Neo Geo cartridges or replicas or whatever, re-releases, whatever they want to call these. Now, from someone who never had a Neo Geo, it could be exciting for that. Like I understand it, you know, the buzz. But for those people who already had Neo Geos, specifically those who had these games and thought they were gonna be like an investment forever, I see them getting a little bit pissed off because the prices for some of these games were probably dropped now. Because when I look, they're like $2,000, you know, $1,000 depending on the title, like I said.
That is 100% true. When you can buy the cartridge for $90, that $2,000 cartridge that you can only buy because it was super rare. Now, there's still going to be people that want to buy the original cartridge and risk playing it or just putting it on their shelf. But the people that just want to play the games are going to buy those $90 replicas, you know. And so I feel like this is definitely going to affect the value of the retro Neo Geo cards. 100%. This will have to affect the value. Not, and I would think on the higher end for the negative, but time will tell. Steps Gaming says not going to buy a cartridge for $2K to play a game. $90. I'll play and enjoy that. And these cartridges are looking like they're going to be exact replicas. They're going to use all like the original type hardware. So it should be exactly the way it should be from what they're saying, from what I've heard. Watched about 5 or 6 videos on this. Potion Sword Run being my favorite of the videos I watched. So I think this will definitely 100% affect the reseller market. Like people that have complete collections, their collection became less valuable. Now this might bring more people into Neo Geo, but the price model will be affected by $90 perfect cartridges that play perfect. Like I said, I would probably buy the 161 multi-cart and maybe a few of the games that I'm just in love with. But that would be how I would probably collect it. But let's keep watching. In the chat, which version do you think looks better, the white or the black? I should probably do a poll. Let me do that real quick. Which one do you think looks better, the white or the black? Just hit it in the how do I do this? Start and show. Okay. That's right over top of me. Can I move that? Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go.
But if they're making new replicas of those games, then like why would people want to buy the originals if you can just play, like a replica, or not just a replica, but a re-release, I guess you can say, on a Neo Geo? On a brand new Neo Geo. Like why would we have to pay those outrageous prices? Like it's crazy, right? So those Neo Geo gamers, I guess you can call them, who are hoarding all these Neo Geo stuff, maybe even those who bought it at a hefty price, might be, a little pissed off right now, and understandably so. But when you think about it, these games should be played by more people, to gatekeep like that is kind of scumbaggery. And so, you kind of feel bad, but then again, you really don't, because yeah, we can play these games everywhere else. You don't actually need a Neo Geo to play these games, but people want dedicated consoles. They want to be included into the Neo Geo community. They don't want to be gatekept by, the old schoolers.
And I think there definitely is something magical about playing on original hardware and having that physical cartridge in your hand. And I collect Atari because I like that. I like the physical. That's what originally drew me most to Evercade, was it was physical media. And it's on a cartridge. No one's going to be able to change that. There's no DLC. Nothing's going to change. I mean, the game, you're getting the game, and it's going to stay the way it is. And it's physical media. The same reason I still buy Blu-rays and movies is because I want to have it in my collection where I can watch it wherever I want, and where it's not going to get changed. Like if I like a movie, I don't have to worry about them making it more woke or taking things out or changing the way it was. I'm kind of a fan of that. So this definitely, at least for retro gaming for me, I mean, I could see both sides, but I think this should bring more people into Neo Geo. Maybe some people that never had anything that was Neo Geo before. And I think a lot of people know this stuff through emulation. Emulation has built the popularity of Neo Geo more than hurt it.
And those who actually hopefully didn't have to buy Neo Geo at its highest price. But I think this is freaking awesome. I really do think this is awesome. I think...
Tell you what, the screens look good in the pictures. If it's that sharp, it looks razor sharp with the picture, and that's super important. That's important to me.
A lot of other companies should be doing this, like
with the HDMI, and you can also run this out to old screens. Hey, what's up, Dark Realm Gaming? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. We're talking about some Neo Geo.
Back in television, with the Amico. So sad. Like with $17 million, and they still couldn't get it done. But yeah, we see the Intellivision Sprint. We see the Neo Geo come out. Reimagined consoles. Oh my God. So there's no excuse. There should be a lot of other companies out here putting out these reimagined consoles, you know. If you do it right, if you actually put, you know, product behind your product, like, you know, actually making the video game for the Neo Geo, then yeah, you might actually succeed. See, because at first, before I knew they were going to release those games, I looked at the price of the Neo Geo, like, yeah, $200, I'll jump in. And then I went to go look at eBay and shit, or Amazon, anywhere to look for the actual Neo Geo cartridges. And I saw the price of those. And I'm like, it's like, I can't afford those freaking games. I can afford maybe one game, you know, a month, if that, not even. Anyway, so it's like, I see it as a good thing. That's all I'm saying. I know I'm rambling. But anyways, if you're a gatekeeper, I'm sorry. You know, if you're a reseller, I don't feel sorry for you. I really don't. I don't like resellers. I mean, some resellers are okay, but a lot of you guys are scummy. I'm just gonna call it. You know, like $2,000 for these games. Come on, y'all. Come on. Let's keep it real. Those prices are way inflated. So, as a matter of fact, I'm glad the freaking console came out, and I'm glad that it's hopefully able to inflate the original price of the consoles, of the original consoles. Not only that, but the original games. And if not, then hopefully they release reimagined or whatever we released.
There's a look at some of the games: Metal Slug, Garo Mark of Wolves, Shock Troopers, Polestar. These are all fantastic games. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. They have a really good selection of games for the launch. Those are all classics.
Remakes, replicas, whatever you want to call the new cartridges for the Neo Geo games.
You posit the $1,000 bundle has 2 wireless arcade sticks, a game pad, and a memory card, and every game. That's what I'm saying. Like, the $1,000 bundle was the best value. It's like $360 worth of free stuff, I think. Like, less that you would save, but that's a lot of money. So I'm saying gaming is can be very expensive if you want to go all in like that. Yeah. This is on go to Papa Brad's Gaming. Yeah, they kind of get you because you don't have to get the bundle, but that's how they get you in the system, because once you have the system, you're going to want to get some games for it. And each game is $90. So you're going to definitely want to get some games if you're spending that $250 for the system. You know, I think this is more competition for like the like Steps is saying, maybe more for like home arcade consoles, or maybe just people that wanted this and it was out of their price range or out of their grasp as far as price. So this is definitely an interesting topic.
I'm going to leave it right there. Ain't that right, guys? Ain't that right?
So anyway, make sure you check out Potion Sword Run. He's got a great channel. And I want to watch the video one more time and just like actually really look at it closely this time, just to see it one more time. Tell me which one you think looks better, the white or the black. Vote in the chat. 1 is for white, 2 is for black. We're going to show it one more time. Give me your opinion by voting. Now let's take a look. One more time. Where is it? This is it. Okay. There you go. That was one more look at the brand new Neo Geo home arcade console that's going to be coming out. That is pretty exciting. And that is something new. I do agree. PlayOn markets very well. They do all these Atari cards, Atari Plus consoles. I think they did the Intellivision Plus. They work with Atari a lot. So it's early. We'll see in November what happens. That's true. But it's exciting. So it's something new. It's something exciting. What else is exciting is Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, which was released in 1982. And we're going to have a little fun. We're going to flash back right here. Boom.
Yellow creature that drove people crazy trying to gobble up dots. Then along came Ms. Pac-Man. You recognize her? She's the one with the hat. Now, Super Pac-Man. The price, $2,700.
$2,700. Super Pac-Man can be yours. Video from back in the day.
This ordinary creature eats a power dot and becomes Super Pac-Man. Invincible, crashing through walls, annihilating ghosts, then back to normal size. The demonstrator, Fred Reich, says it isn't easy eating your way through all those apples.
Once you eat up the green dot, the green super dot, you can then eat up anything, and that makes you like Superman, comparable to Superman. Unfortunately, we lost all 3 lives and we still had 3 apples left.
Super Pac-Man is no pushover. It's programmed to get tougher as the game goes on.
With Super Pac-Man, as each level is completed, a new and more difficult level is presented.
But doesn't it go to the point where no one can beat it?
That's what the manufacturers would like to think, but the 12-year-olds don't believe it.
But there is more. This is Baby Pac-Man. Looks simple enough, but take the creature through an escape tunnel, and down below you continue playing the game as a pinball machine, generating more dots. So a little later on, you can go back up and play the video game again. So is this the ultimate in arcade games? No.
That's Dick Shoemaker. There's Dick. Tell me about it, Dick. Is Super Pac-Man the ultimate video game of all time? Tell me about it, Dick.
Way, says the manufacturer. In the words of those who run the video game revolution, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Seen
Dick
nothing
Shoemaker,
yet.
For entertainment tonight.
Look at that millipede, that joust. There you go. Entertainment Tonight. 1982 video. Complete with the VHS marks. Pretty awesome. So Super Pac-Man, we're playing that in the Retro Legends arcade this week. Super exciting to be playing that all week. Dropping some scores. A reminder that you can drop a score in Pac-Man if you want to get put on the wheel. We do have the contest. We will be drawing for an invader at the end of the show. So, leaderboard is still open. Let me refresh it and make sure no one added. But drop a score in Pac-Man. If you win, I'll send you a Space Invader. Limited edition. So, let me continue here. Let's see. Most exciting show on YouTube. We're talking about Mikey Yoons cleaning out his basement. Yesterday, he found his Xbox, Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Yes, all those consoles. I've got so many consoles. Like, I've got them in boxes. I don't even have them all hooked up, but I've got tons of consoles that more consoles than I have currently hooked up, which is sad, you know. But I started collecting PS3 because it's very affordable. I like the PS3. I feel like it's at the sweet spot as far as the cost for the value of what you get is about as good as I've seen. Let me put these back on the stage. I better go back to my notes because I feel like I'm going to miss something. But great week of gaming. Hello, active pinball and arcade gamers. You are watching the Retro Legends Arcade Show. This is show 61. Our pinball this week for VR is Star Wars Rogue One, which is a really fun pinball. I was amazed how fun it is. Like, you know, Rogue One's all right. It's not my favorite Star Wars. It's okay. It's pretty good. We did the Neo Geo. We talked about Super Pac-Man. It's time to talk about Flipper Friends, some of our friends' scores, and maybe a little bit of AtGames news. And that was the main things I wanted to cover for the show this week. So that being said, let's jump into AtGames. Let's shift gears. Okay. So let's start by talking a little bit about some Flipper Friends news. Let's talk about last week first. Week 10 was last week. You could play all the Flipper Friends games also in the Retro Legends Arcade. Still in the top 10 for me and Sacro. Still in the top 10, which is super exciting. Let's take a look at how the scores were for the past week. Looks like I came in 9th for the week, which is still puts me in the top 10 players for AtGames. Let's take a look at the scoreboard overall. Number 1 player last week was MadBenHan, Sarah Lou, Tomato Grass, Sacro, Wizard 626, Jay Berg, 6-string pin, Skull Joe, me, Soggy Bacon. Then going up to 21, we have Dennis B, Dave LB, who plays all the time on our leaderboards at 13th. Good job, Dave LB. He's in the top 20. Pinball Wizard, Overreaction, Spiegel, RGM 25, Fail, Turtle Dove, T. McCloskey breaking the top 20. Good job, T. McCloskey in the top 20 AtGames Pinball players in the world this past week. For last week, we got Wyo in 21. Who always watches the show. So those tables last week were pretty tough. I felt like I struggled with those pretty hard. This week we got 3 games I know nothing about. I've really never played any of these. We got Pool Champion 2018, Sinistar Deluxe, and Voyager Through Time and Space. AtGames did not make a video on these games, but I will play them live. I need to practice them a little bit, but I'll play them live on my channel. But these are the 3 games for this week for Flipper Friends. We're at week 11 of the tournament season. Right now, we got a week 11, 12, and 13. And my goal is to stay in the top 10. It's going to be tough. We got some really tough tables coming up. This week's tables I've never played before. Next week, we hopefully will get the Dinosaur Dynasty 3, which will be fun. And then ending it out with Star God Deluxe. I love that game. I haven't really played Wizard, but it's fun. You get to play different games every week. So there's the Flipper Friends news. Other AtGames news, they still have the Legends Pinball Micro for $249. Also, they upgraded their web page where it's black. I thought that was pretty nice. Let me check. Let's see here. I wonder if I could put that poll up again. Let me see. Okay, it's unanimous. Everyone liked the black more from the people that took the poll. Let me see if I can I didn't know you could resume it. You can resume it? Looks like you can resume it. Okay. Better value, a Wonderland pinball machine or a Neo Geo AES Plus bundle? Okay, what do you think is a better value? So I can put that back up. And then I'll end it at the end of the show. There's the Wonderland, and then we saw the all-in-one would come with everything they make. So pretty much that would be the bundle deal. What is this a picture of? Oh, this is the Metal Slug, the white one. That's $349.99. I got these from Steps Links, not the pinball, the the Neo Geo stuff. Okay. By the way, here's a cool flyer I found for Super Pac-Man. I should have shown this when I showed the video. Look how cool that flyer is for Super Pac-Man. Pretty cool. So that's what we're playing this week in the arcade game section. Okay, so how do I get this widget off the screen? I don't want to stop it. I want to hide it. Okay, there we go. So, other AtGames news. Of course, they released Earthshaker. That's really the big news. And let's take a quick look at Earthshaker from AtGames. Then we can talk about it in the chat. I'm going to leave the chat on. So let me turn the chat on. All right, guys, and welcome back to Papa Brad's Gaming. And today we're taking a look at a true Williams classic, Earthshaker, now available for the AtGames Legends 4KP. Huge thank you to AtGames, who did send me out this table for the purpose of review. And I am Papa Brad, a top 10 ranked IFPA AtGames pinball player. Let's check out this table. Originally released in 1989 by Williams, Earthshaker was designed by the legendary Pat Lawler, the same man behind classics such as Funhouse and Twilight Zone. What made Earthshaker stand out back in the day was its innovative cabinet shaking effect, simulating an earthquake while you played. It was one of the earliest attempts to physically immerse players into the theme. We talk a little bit about the gameplay and the features on the 4KP. Zen Studios has done a great job bringing this table over to the 4KP. The layout remains fast, flowing, and dangerous in all the right ways. Some key features of Earthshaker include the Earthquake Institute ramp, multi-ball chaos triggered through the fault line targets. It has diverters and split-level playfield design that keeps things unpredictable, and the classic Earthquake mode, now translated visually onto the table, rather than just physical shaking. The table really shines in how it balances skill shots and risk and reward type gameplay. Miss your shots and you're punished. Hit your flow and it feels incredible. Now I do have to address something that players have been talking about, and that's the audio issues in these older Williams tables on Zen Studios pinball games. This is not just for the 4KP, this is for all these tables. There's a noticeable volume drop during the scenic Earthshaker ramp sequence. Some players report that the sound sounds scratchy or slightly distorted. I feel like that is the biggest problem. The older Williams table is using whatever chip that this pinball table used. It must have to do with emulation. Overall, the audio mixing sometimes can feel lower compared to older versions, like the versions that were in FX3. These issues have been widely reported on the Zen Studios forums and discussed in the community as well as places like Reddit. Here's an article pointing out some of the issues. Now here's the important part. This is not an AtGames 4KP hardware issue. This is tied specifically to the Zen Studios port and the audio mixing in the newer Pinball Effects engine. So if you notice it, it's real, but it's maybe something that could be potentially fixed in a future update. Visually, the table looks fantastic on the 4KP. I feel like the presentation is crisp, it has clean lighting effects, it has great recreation of the original playfield art. Even with the audio hiccups, Earthshaker is still an absolute blast to play, and it is a Williams classic. It's one of those tables that reminds you why late 80s William pinball is so beloved. Game has fast gameplay, memorable shots, a unique theme, a challenging but rewarding design. Honestly, once you get into the flow, the fun factor easily outweighs the minor issues. Let me talk about my final score for this table. I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. I feel it's a fantastic Williams classic, plays great on the 4KP, but it's held back just a bit by audio inconsistencies. But this is still a highly recommended classic Williams table for any pinball fan, and it's a great game. Let me talk a little bit about my opinion of Earthshaker, pinball game made by Williams in 1989. I feel like Earthshaker is a classic, fun, and charming System 11 game. I like the theme and its innovative use of the shaker motor. Game's rules are easy to learn, but there's quite a bit of complexity, and learning the rule set will make the game a lot more fun. It's a very family-friendly game. I think some of the positives are the shaker motor. Even in the AtGames Pinball, if you have the SSF kit, the table does go pretty crazy when you get the earthquake going with the SSF sound and the shaker going off during the multi-ball event. One of the things I think this game nails is its theme and atmosphere. I really like the California earthquake theme. I think it has a lot of charm. And the soundtrack is very energetic and upbeat. I like the moving California-Nevada fault line. I think it's a pretty cool gimmick built into the table. Here's a quick look at the rule set card for Earthshaker. One of the first things I always do when I'm playing a pinball in real life is read the rule card that tells you what to do to play the game. Let's jump back into the game. Let me talk about what I feel are some of the weaknesses of Earthshaker as a pinball game. Many people feel like this game, when you compare it to something like Whirlwind, it lacks the long-term depth. Once the rules are mastered, the game can feel basically kind of repetitive and a grind. This game is definitely a one-shot game. Skilled players will easily be able to exploit the center ramp, which can make it a little bit less fun for competitive play. Also, I feel if you look at the Williams tables, I feel like this play field's a little bit cramped, a little bit difficult to track the ball during some of the chaotic moments. Doesn't have the greatest flow in all of pinball. But the main thing I would say about Earthshaker is often compared to Whirlwind, which was also designed by Pat Lawler. And in my opinion, Earthshaker is an easier game. But Whirlwind, in my opinion, it's just my opinion now, I consider Whirlwind to be a better and deeper game.
The game found down.
Plus, I love it when that fan kicks on. That was a cool gimmick. But overall, Earthshaker, you know, as an add-on to your AtGames 4KP pinball, you can't go wrong. It's a solid, fun, and nostalgic game. I really don't hear anyone really hating on this game. But it's really not what I would consider an A level of the 90s games. I mean, it's a fun game, but it's not one of the greatest. Those are my general feelings on the game Earthshaker. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
Oh!
If you enjoyed hearing this review, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out for more content right here on Papa Brad's Gaming. I'll see you guys around on the next one. Stay legit, and I will see you on the leaderboards. Yeah, I mean, Mikey says, yes, they market well. I mean, look at those beautiful retro consoles they've done so far, all leading up to this. What do y'all think? There you go. That was all of the consoles that they've made back to back. Pretty exciting. That's the show for tonight. Oh, wait, I got to do the drawing. I got to do the drawing real quick. Let me pull up the wheel. Hold on. Let me pull up the wheel. Let me double check. Okay, so it's going to be for a Space Invaders. Winning an Invader. Okay, let me share the screen and let's get this done. Retro Legends arcade wheel. Share. Let me make sure I can see it. There it is. We're spinning. Good luck, gamers. Someone's. Oh, wait a minute. What did I do? Remove wheel 2. Okay, here we go. How do I spin? I just click on the middle. Okay, here we go. Good luck. Here we go. Lord Donkey Balls is the winner. Congratulations, LDB. And we'll be getting that out to you. I know you know how to reach me in the Discord. So congratulations. That being said, I'm going to remove that. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video. Maybe comment if you can. It helps the video to get pushed out by YouTube. I'll be seeing you on the leaderboards. Played some of our games this week. We got some great games. All the games are in the description of the video. Yeah, I thought Sacro might have won. Sacro, well, you were on the wheel there, buddy. You almost won. But I'll try to come up with other cool stuff to give away too. Happy pinball scoring, everyone. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for watching. And take care. Peace. See you on the leaderboards.
Well, Papa Brad's a game man. He's got passion in his soul. From pinball tables to Atari, he's always in control. He's a master of retro man. The old school style's his thing. With every flick of the joystick, you can hear the twang ting. Stay legit, Papa Brad, keep the high school living. From the classic arcades to the AtGames pinball board. With the Atari 2600, your love for games will never quit. Stay true yourself, Papa Brad, and always stay legit. He's a lover of the classics, the sound of pixelated beats. Late nights at the arcade with every game defeat. But he'll keep on pushing till he's reached that final stage. Papa Brad's the gaming legend. His passion never fades. Stay legit, Papa Brad, keep the high score. classic arcades to the AtGames pinball board with the Atari 2600. Your love for games will never quit. Stay true to yourself, Papa Brad, and always stay legit.